Bop, boo, boo, doo, doo. I don't like Mondays. Sad, sad Mondays. I wanna shoot, ooh, 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 the whole world down. Ba-doop, 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 ba-da, boop, boop. That song is by the Boomtown Rats, my brother. It's an old band, but it's a fucked up song because they stole it. They used it they stole a tragedy to make that song, and it was like a big song back in the day. Okay. And in 1979, some girl in Oakland, California, shot up Grover Cleveland Middle School, elementary school, with a .22 caliber rifle. She lived across the street, and she shot a bunch of people up. And somehow an interviewer from like a news station called her up and was like, "Hey, why did you even do this?" And the little girl, Brenda, she was like, well, you know, I just don't like Mondays." Like, that was the end of it.
That's a solid reason, though.
Yeah, she was just fucked up, though. She was fucked up. Fucked up in the head, bro.
A lot of people are, man.
No joke.
That being said, I don't think I am excluded from that. I don't know about yourself, but
what, fucked up in the head? I'm not trying to kill nobody.
That's true. Yeah, but on Mondays, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, hey,
yeah, for
killed.
real. Like, but then the song goes on to say like brighten up the whole day, because none of the kids have to go to school that day, because technically, you know, only 2 people died: the president and the janitor. So she wasn't that good of a shot. No, you're good, brother. You're good.
It is Thejokerandthesmoker, episode number 28. We're back at it.
Bam, 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 bam.
You can't see it, but my room where we film stuff at is a little bit cleaner. I moved my bed out of here. I'm trying to dedicate it to a full-blown work studio, creative studio, artistic, whether I want to do sound and video and art and records and stuff. What I really want to make it into is what's called a trip cave.
What is that? Oh, you want to trip in a cave?
No, there's a subreddit called Trip Caves, and it's just really awesome decked out rooms that are kind of have an awesome psychedelic feel.
Oh, okay.
Some have tapestries and black and stuff, but basically just I don't know, the getaway room, the sanctuary. That's what
I hear it, bro.
That's what I want this to be, but
I hear it.
That being said, I'm in a weird limbo. My bed's across the hallway, and I feel like I don't really. Not that I feel like I don't have a home, but.
Right. You're used to all your shit.
Yeah, I've been sitting at my girl's house lately, and it's I'm trying to plot some moves for the future. So it's okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, am I hearing reverb of myself?
No, that was just you talking on another podcast. What up?
That being said, we had quite a few downloads for our last one. I hope people.
We did, brother. We got a new listener.
We did?
Yeah. I got the email today. It won't let me. We got a new follower on Podbean. It won't let me look it up on Podbean on my phone.
Gotcha.
So I gotta get my computer and look it up. But shout out to y'all.
Yeah, we also got a new country. I forget which one it was. I looked it up though.
Scandinavia.
Probably somewhere around there. I'm gonna turn my audio up a little bit. This might be quiet.
No, you're good, brother. You're good. So I got payback for that skunk I caught. I mean, not skunk, for that possum I caught, and that dude said he was gonna kill. He said he was gonna hit it in the head with a shovel.
Oh yeah.
I got payback from the animal world.
Oh, I know why this is. We're gonna have it turned around backwards.
Yeah, I caught a skunk in said trap, and it was a small trap. And to let the skunk out of said trap, I had to get close to the trap.
Okay.
Which was an adventure.
Yeah, of course. Trying to maneuver your way carefully around a skunk is yeah.
Because I don't want to get sprayed. I don't want to smell like skunk.
Of course, nobody does.
So my buddy. One of my buddies, he's like, dude, they can only spray once. After that, you're good. I was like, okay, what does that mean? So then I was like, I'm not listening. You're an idiot. He's like, so they only have one full spray at one time, but they're able to spray 6 times.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of like a squirt gun, yeah.
Or they can only go and spray it all out, and then they have to rebuild it. So my buddy's telling me this, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. How do I know that motherfucker's empty though? How do I know he's already sprayed?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to take your chances and think he's all out when
Exactly.
walk up there. Yeah, there you go. Then that's
And I have no recollection that he is out.
Right, and this dude could just be making shit up. Like you got to ask him his credentials.
He sent me it on like Wikipedia.
Okay.
Like, but it's still like I don't know how he's out.
Yeah, exactly.
How do I get him
So were
out?
you trying to like coax him to spray before you?
No.
Okay.
I figured out how to do it.
Okay.
And this is a helpful hint for anybody dealing with skunks out there.
I have some out front.
A sheet.
Yeah.
Take a sheet that covers your whole body.
Okay.
All right. It needs to be a pretty thick sheet.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Like a tarp, maybe.
Yeah, a tarp will definitely work.
Okay.
And you want to hold it above your head, and you want to make sure your feet are covered also.
Okay.
You want to make sure your whole body's covered.
Gotcha.
And you just walk up to the trap and you throw it over top of the trap. And since the skunk can't see you, it won't spray because it only has so many sprays at one time. That's its only defense mechanism.
Okay.
So unless it sees you, it won't spray. So I threw that on top there. Had no fucking issue with it.
That's interesting.
So I started fucking with the cage. But then I got the cage open. Motherfucker didn't want to leave. Because then I opened the door and it's like, well, my only defense mechanism is my ass.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be looking to see if the door's open. I'm just going to be like, my ass is going to face the door because I'm going to spray you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I had to sit there for fucking 45 minutes.
Coax his skunk out of the cage.
No shit. And the
Maybe
weird
he was
thing
comfy. Maybe he was like, damn, I haven't found a new place like this in a while.
is, you're not able to transplant skunks. Like, even on my own property. Because I'm catching these things at work, and I'm trying to catch a groundhog.
Okay.
So I was going to take the skunk out to my grandpa's land and just be like, here you go. There's like 100 some acres there.
Okay.
Well, not that many, but there's a decent amount.
Yeah, enough land.
It's
More
like,
than there's
you know,
there,
a skunk, I can put it out in the middle of the field, like skunk will live life.
About it, yeah.
And then same thing with a raccoon.
Okay.
I was like, okay, this raccoon I'll put out there, and then I'll go hunt the raccoon at a later date. Because that sounds like fun.
But yeah, catch release.
So I called
Ohio Department of
Natural Resources, ODNR, and they're like, you're not allowed to do that. You have to kill them. If you catch a skunk or a raccoon, and there's multiple animals on this list, that you have to kill them. You can't relocate them.
Oh, wow. That's kind of crazy.
The only reason I found out about this is this guy who buys stuff from my company.
Okay.
He's like, oh, I had a customer who had to get the skunks removed. So they got trying to get the skunks removed. They had this business that came, like, picked them up.
Okay.
And said they took them to the vet and got them all treated and then did all this nonsense with it. And then so I call the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and they're like, no, that's completely illegal. It's like, oh, so this company's just coming and getting skunks and then shooting them in the head and disposing of them. And then telling the residents, like, oh, no, we took it to the vet. Your skunk's fine.
Yeah, just blatantly lying in order to get the business.
Because it's illegal. Because I was like, maybe it's just because we're on a commercial site.
Right.
And we're not residential.
But no, that's not the case.
But no, you're not allowed, which I was calling it transplant, not allowed to move an animal from one piece of property to another piece of property. They stay there in fear of diseases.
Now, is there a Ohio Department sponsored thing that will come do that for you if you don't do it? Like...
It's called Scram, and that's what I called. Yeah. And that's what the people told me to call.
Okay.
And they were like, no, you have to kill them. I was like, well, can you guys just... Can you guys
come do it? Yeah.
Can you guys kill it? Because I don't want to walk. This is before I knew how to get up next to the cage.
Yeah.
I was like, I just don't want to walk up next to the cage. Yeah. Come deal with it.
Yeah, I got this thing captured to come to.
I'm not trying to get sprayed. I didn't know anything about the sheet at this time. So I was asking around and I was like, I don't know anybody that does anything like that. And I have people at my work. They're just like, oh, dude, just shoot it in the head. I was like, yeah, let me bring my gun over here.
Yeah, just right in the broad daylight.
Get a felony.
Well, I don't know. That's like, I wonder what the thought behind that law is, because unless you have malicious intent to, relocate a bunch of vermin on someone's property purposely.
Right.
It's kind of an odd thing to make a law against.
They said diseases. And I was like, oh, well, you guys would know more than me, but I don't think me taking a skunk
that must be from some weird
field.
age of scientific testing where animals were just captured and released.
And I really don't want to
it's odd.
Catch another skunk. And it's not like it's an invasive species. Like skunks live in Ohio.
Yeah, exactly. It's skunk's a skunk,
It's just gonna keep moving along.
I have seen more this year though than in most recent years. I can honestly say.
I wonder why that is. They eat insects and shit.
Do they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I caught a skunk on Fritos, bro. I don't have no more bait, so I was like, I'm gonna catch a groundhog on Fritos.
Are they technically like rodents, or I wonder what they are? Are they kind of like weasels and stuff, or ferrets? Or
I was gonna say like a feline, but that's a cat.
Yeah.
I don't think a skunk is a cat.
Where's David Attenborough when you need him?
I don't know who that is, but where you at, bro?
The dude that narrates Planet Earth.
Oh,
the British guy, yeah.
I bet
he had the best narration ever.
Neil deGrasse Tyson also knows.
Probably.
Oh no, he only knows about the space.
Yeah.
Unless there's space skunks, he don't know nothing about.
And really, David Attenborough just narrates it. He's just like he's
They probably
not
doesn't know
specially
anything either.
qualified. Yeah.
That's what. You know how many scientists are mad at Neil deGrasse Tyson about that?
For what?
They say he's like a fake scientist. He's just a good spokesman.
Yeah, he just can represent.
Yeah.
He can represent whatever needs to be said in any situation, and that's a really unique talent. Like that alone can bring success, along with his truly superior intellect.
Yeah, I think it's
together.
smart.
Yeah, together, like you can. It's just people being mad like they have been forever that they're not as smart as other people, and it can be discouraging if you get defensive about it. But like,
right.
The smartest thing to do when you know someone's smarter than you is admit it right away and be like, hey, are you willing to teach me this stuff that you know? Because if you're willing to listen, most people are willing to share that knowledge for next to nothing, unless it's like something. I'm trying to think of like trades and stuff, like jobs where you gotta like put your time in order to be part of do something and stuff.
They're
like glassblowing. How I want to do glassblowing. In order to do glassblowing, you have to like pretty much do bitch work for like hundreds of hours first, which is like blowing down the tube and like because it's something you do when you create certain size pieces in glasswork. You can't do it alone, and you need multiple sets of hands, if not just two. So it's like.
Damn. So they're gonna make you do the bitch work, not do the actual technical work.
Yeah, that's why like there's this really world-renowned glass artist named Chihuly, and he has
first or last name.
That's his last name. His first name's Dave Chihuly, CHI.
I'll go by Chihuly too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But
you ever met Dave the Glassblower? No, but have you ever met Chihuly?
Chihuly, yeah,
oh,
it
shit.
rolls off way better. But I actually first got exposed to him when I was in a program in school, and I think we went to like the Franklin Conservatory or something in Columbus, and he had an exhibit or whatever. But it was only later in life when I got back into glassblowing, trying to pursue it as a creative interest, that I found out almost all glassblowers are uniquely the head of a team, and like their vision, along with the help of other people, makes it all come together. So like I don't even know if Chihuly actually blew or shaped many of the pieces that are in a lot of his exhibits, but he was the madman, the created the mad scientist of the operation.
I get it.
Which is really crazy, because not many other arts or stuff is like that, where it's like businesses kind of, because most large business ops are the idea of one person put into effect as others, but it's a little bit different in that case when it's like your creative idea, you give it up to be realized by someone else instead of do it yourself. Because I always feel like, you want to do, if I want to do something, I want to do it myself.
Exactly.
And
if
like,
I have the idea for it, I want to do it myself.
There's a certain pride that goes along with it. But I mean, after you've probably spent enough years doing like very not labor intensive work, which like blowing in a hot shop with furnaces and all kinds of crazy shit, it's definitely some labor intensive work. So if you can just trust people enough to do work for you, you can you could be a creative artistic legend. But that was a weird fucking side note about some glass blowing shit.
Dude, what's that word?
Mammalia.
So that's what a skunk is, bro. That's the family.
So they're
a skunk
mammals.
Is.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a mammal. What do you think? It laid eggs?
No, I just like
I'm fucking with you.
I guess that was the
family.
The genus
the genus. That was the genius.
So
which is weird. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. Well, rodents are mammals too, right?
Yeah.
What distinction am I thinking of then? I must be thinking of some like.
I think mammals are anything that doesn't lay an egg.
There's genus and species and something else.
There's a family. There's a species, and then there's
it's a big old tree.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of limbs to that tree.
There's something else too. I know what you're thinking of though. But what's up with having two names for everything, like the scientific name for the thing, and then like, oh no, that's just what us scientists will call it.
Yeah, that's so upsetting.
Platypusimus mysterious. Everyone else just has to call it a platypus.
Yeah, that's so upsetting. And then the other thing that's upsetting, man,
it doesn't universally help anybody.
It doesn't. Like, let's all call it the same goddamn thing. Yeah. And let's spell the words correct, because I posted a picture of a possum online, and someone said that's an opossum. Yep. I said no, that's a possum. Get rid of that O.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to say it like that, spell it like that.
Exactly.
It's our whole vendetta.
Someone else said it was like a saber-toothed giant mouse.
That'd be interesting.
And I was like, no, it's a possum.
Yeah, no, not quite.
Good try, though.
Hang on just a second.
No, you're good, brother. Other than that, life has been excellent. I haven't done a whole lot, people. Oh, I went and shot some guns in a field with one of my buddies.
Nice. What kind of guns?
Well, I shot my that 38 revolver.
Nice.
From 1935.
35.
And then I just bought a 9mm pistol.
Cool.
For home protection.
Nice.
And I had to shoot that a little bit. But then we shot a .303 British rifle.
Cool.
From like World War II nonsense.
That sounds kind of cool.
Either it might be before then. I don't know. I don't know the history on it. It's an old ass gun.
Yeah.
And then we shot a 30-30, like lever action.
It's pretty sweet, man. I often think of like the intricate mechanisms that go into things like guns and like how they are operative pieces of machinery. Yeah. And it's like, and you're shooting a gun that old, you got to think the pieces are that old, but yeah, the way they were made then is extremely different than the way they're made now. But on a principle level, it's all fundamentally the same. They're just
and it still
operating.
Works.
Yeah, and it's crazy to like that's the cool thing about getting older is like. I guess you see the innovation in things, but I don't know if it's just like the time that we live in, but there's something about things that have quality to them that also have a name brand. There was a quality to name brand before name brand was just designer.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, but guns are always guns have always been. I don't know, who supplies police firearms like F&N?
Well, I have the Smith & Wesson, which is military and police.
Yeah. It interests me whose job it is to choose military, police issue shit.
That's what my brother carries. I think you're allowed to carry any type of gun you want, honestly. I don't know who makes those rules.
Glock.
My brother, that Colt revolver.
Yeah.
I mean, that's made by Colt, and that was a police-issued gun back in the day.
Hell yeah.
Only made for police.
Right.
Somehow I ended up with it. Yeah, but our shooting venture ended pretty quick because 3 donkeys came up. I shot 8 shots out of my little 9mm.
Yeah.
And then 3 donkeys just trotted over and said, "Hey, friends."
Like, what's up?
One of them bit my buddy on the arm.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna come pet this donkey. You go shoot your gun, and it'll scare these donkeys away."
Right.
And those donkeys said, "No, we're not gonna go anywhere."
They were just chilling,
yeah,
bro.
They were like, "What are you guys doing?"
They were looking to party.
Like, no, we're trying to shoot. Maybe they wanted to shoot guns.
Yeah.
But it was just weird because they just came flying out of nowhere, right up next to us.
Was it like was it like free range donkeys or whatever?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you put donkeys out with cows to kick the coyotes in the head.
Okay, yeah, I think I have heard that.
Yeah. So, which works for some odd reason. I don't understand why the donkeys are protecting the cows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like maybe they have some kind of ancient agreement with each other.
Like the sheepdog and the sheep versus the wily coyote.
Right, yeah, it's probably very Acme, similarly related.
I guarantee you it is, bro. I guarantee you it is.
That's the shit, bro. I was going to say... speaking of shooting things, well, there was another shooting recently, right? Somewhere.
Yeah.
I forget where.
A couple, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
A couple police shootings. There was a teen who got caught at the garlic.
Yeah, he cut a hole through a fence or something and went in. I guess kudos to the immediate police responders. They gunned him down like within a minute or something, but he still got shots off, and it's like, damn. Apparently, I think that specific guy, I think he bought the gun legally about a month and a half earlier. So it's like instances like this are perfect cases of like, you know, when it comes to background checks and stuff like that and processing times,
right?
It's like, yeah, you know, people will do as they please, whether they can do it in due time or not. It's a very odd scenario, man, that our country's facing right now, and it's repetitive.
Just to let everybody know, it is super easy to buy a gun.
Yeah,
you just don't have to have
here in America. Yeah,
my license doesn't even have like my actual address. That since I just moved, I don't have my actual address.
Right.
So they just had me fill out some paperwork and go buy a hunting license. So they had a piece of paper that had my address on it.
Yeah.
Now, and they're like, "Okay, here, you can walk out with a gun now."
At what was it, gun show?
No, this was at a gun shop. Yeah, this was a legit gun shop.
Damn.
And then right before I walked out, they're like, "Hey, did you need any ammo for that?" I was like, yeah, of course I do.
As a matter of fact, yeah.
So I walked back, and I got some ammo, and I'm just carrying a gun and some ammo.
Right.
I'm like, huh, and this one's pretty easy.
Yeah. What you never hear about is the follow-up on who sold the guns.
Right.
Like, which I don't think they should be, that's very similar to the argument of drug dealers and drug addicts. Right. Because I don't think a drug dealer should be... it's one thing if they're lacing their product with fentanyl and truly misrepresenting what they're selling. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not trying to say that. What I'm saying is, if you've sold somebody something that they knew what it was and it is what it is, and you've done that part of it, right, and they kill themselves on it, right, that's not your fault.
Yeah, you don't go.
Yeah, the same way that there's no arguments in society about let's prosecute the gun sellers, the sellers of these firearms because they sold it. But I think the discrepancy there is the legality of the drugs and the guns. Right. But the crazy thing is, guns and drugs go together like rock and roll.
Always. Firearms and tobacco.
Yeah, alcohol, tobacco, firearms is a wing of our government because they're all things created to get money out of them.
Government.
They want a chunk of those taxes if we're having a good time and willing to pay for them. Which is really weird to me that they chose But if the government taxed everything else in our society, then we would be a different kind of government entirely, wouldn't we? Yeah. What's up with that?
I don't know. What's up with this world? It was super easy. I mean, they did run a background check on me. Right. It was super easy to get it.
I wish there was a publicly accessible background check thing. Like, I just want to know what's going to show up on. I wonder what kind of levels of background checks there are, how extensive. Like, when you're applying for a new job, based on who the job is with. If it's with McDonald's, does it only go back 30 days?
Do they even look into it?
Yeah, if it's with a law firm, does it go back 10, 15 years? Right. And that's all you can do is Google search that kind of stuff, and a bunch of pay service sites come up.
Yep.
When it's really like, shouldn't these things that are based off of public records be publicly accessible?
And my life. It affects my life. I should be able to look this shit up.
Exactly, yeah, without having to pay for it. And that's just, I feel like that's a part of our society that's been ingrained and not explained for a long time.
I'm sure there's a form you can go file.
Possibly, yeah. I wonder.
I don't understand why they wouldn't have it just accessible on the internet.
But what doesn't make sense to me is how readily available certain records are to people like mailer companies, like lawyers and stuff. Like, as soon as you get a DUI, within the next week, you already have mailers from lawyers. So clearly, the public records are easily being accessed by this certain concentrated group of people.
Well, maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, obviously I don't need the information that I just got pulled over because I know it. But I don't know, how do you check how many points are on your license? I want to know if my points are still on there. Exactly. It's like, there are things about our society that I wonder if you're trying to improve yourself on, why it's so hard to get it done. Like, I'm trying to go back to school right now to Columbus State. Just to finish up my degree because I got 68 credits and I can get an associate's and a certification for some IT work. Right. So I want to go do that, but I have to get an official transcript from Miami University, which is where I used to go. And I go to their website and it says the only way to submit an official transcript is in person, written by mail, or I forget what the other option was, but it says phone, fax, and email are not accepted.
Damn.
Like, this is 2019, and you're telling me that a college-accredited university is not using the most popular forms of communication and information transformation in order... Because that's exactly why I haven't sat down and requested them, because I just really had to do it. But I would have already done it if on that website it was like, fill out this form.
Right. They just want more money, dude.
They want you to take more time to... I don't know. To me, it's kind of like Apple, where Apple will do random shit to make sure they get money and stuff. It's like you can set up your system in certain ways to get people to traverse it, where they dodge things you want them to dodge and hit the things you want them to hit. And that's about really how I feel parts of our society are, with knowing things about where you stand in society if you are in lower to middle class, because I feel like high class society people don't have to worry about it. Well, I'll never forget something I read on Reddit. Was like, what's the most ignorant thing that a rich person has ever done that made you realize money is freedom in some terms of the saying? And it was, this chick was dating a guy, and they went to park downtown one night, and there was a sign or whatever that was like, this dude was basically going to illegally park somewhere and just get a fine. He wasn't going to get towed, but he's like, that's okay. It'll just be a $500 ticket. And like, he wanted the parking spot and would sit there, so it doesn't fucking matter. Like, if you can break certain rules, it doesn't matter.
Nope.
When for others of us, it's like, goddamn it, I broke a rule 10 years ago. I'm trying to get out of that shit.
Yeah.
When other people, literally, money can just buy their way out of it.
Exactly. That's upsetting. That's the type of society we live in, brother.
It really is, man. It makes you want to be rich, but I know if I was rich, none of my actual struggles would be any easier. I would just have a new set of problems once I solved the ones I have.
Yep.
And I think that's really what people forget is like, once you solve all the problems you have now, a new set will arise.
But money's nice, brother.
Money is the motherfucking
just buy random shit.
Yeah.
No, that's bad.
Bees don't have knees, I don't think. I don't like that saying.
I don't know if bees have knees or not. I've never talked to a bee that had knees. Only one that had a stinger, and then one that didn't.
Right.
Because it stung me. It's fucking cocksuckers.
Dude, the one time I got stung, like my girlfriend, she does like beekeeping. I think I mentioned it before, but the one time I went with her to help her and do it, it was really awesome. But I did end up getting stung, and where it stung me, I think it was like right under the armpit right here. Yeah. And I managed to look, and the stinger, I was able to visibly pull the stinger out. So I was
that's
like,
disgusting.
Geez. Yeah, it was like, I wish I had a microscope so I could look at how actually sharp it was.
Its butt was in you.
We did some butt stuff, yeah.
You and that bee?
Me and that bee.
That's gross, man.
But no, and then she got stung like not too long ago, a week or so ago, and dude, I've never seen someone's hand swell that much.
It's not surprising. She works with bees, bro.
I know, but like, she didn't wear any kind of protection or anything, and I was like, well, you're nuts.
Well, yeah, but that's like talking.
This ain't Nat Geo.
Right, but that's like talking to someone that works with alligators and then one day gets bitten. Like that dude Steve Irwin, who got killed. It's like, dude, you've been fucking around with too many animals. Sooner or later, one's gonna get you.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I think it's a stingray. There's a difference between stingrays and manta rays. I think obviously the stingrays sting, but there's a barb in their tail.
In the stingray, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. I think once they eject it, I don't know, is it gone for good or does it?
I don't think they can eject it. I think it's just on them.
Just on it.
Yeah,
it's not like an actual stinger.
I don't think they get a shooter. I don't think they get to do that. No, but there's even worse stories about that. Like some girl and her husband were out on the beach.
Yeah.
Fucking barb went straight through her ankle and just took her out to sea. And they just got married, so she was in like a white dress. She was dead instantly.
Oh my gosh.
But see, they don't want to hurt you. It just got scared and just went straight through her foot, and those barbs cut on. And the next thing you know, you gone. I got a haircut today by a heavier set woman, and we need to talk about this. Because it's not okay.
Oh, yeah?
My arm, like, if my arm, the reason the chair, like this chair has armrests, the reason the chair has armrests is so the person who's sitting in it can put their arms on the armrest. Well, if you are a heavier set lady and I have my arm on the armrest and you are rubbing my arm with your belly, I don't want to feel that. You shouldn't make me want to feel that. And you should try to stop that.
Yeah.
Not make me take my arms and like curl them up into my sides. It's upsetting. I'm trying to be comfortable while getting a haircut, and you're just being all up on me.
And yeah, it's like spatial awareness is a definite thing.
And you can feel it.
Yeah, yeah. You really wonder, like, maybe she like gets off on it, man.
Yeah,
it's probably like. And like there's a weird like risky part of like human contact like that where it's like whether you get it regularly or not, it's like you wonder if like the excitement of her day lies in someone like reprimanding her, like, could you not touch me with your stomach?
Right.
And that gets her blood racing.
Please. It was just, I would call it inconvenient.
At the least.
Most things. Did you find your pen?
I bought a new one.
You dork.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm still hoping it'll pop up. But, like, I cleaned my room entirely, dude, and I did not pop up anywhere. So I think it's officially lost in the abyss.
I hate that shit.
I can say, as I've gotten older, I've gotten increasingly adamant about not losing things in my life. Because, dude, do you remember, like, is there anything from your childhood that you lost that you'll never forget that you lost? And always be like, damn, I lost that. What is it?
I think it was stolen.
Really?
I had a had like a video game shotgun.
Okay.
And like the video game was on the shotgun and stuff, so you didn't have to hook it up to the TV.
Nice, yeah.
And it was just like a hunting game. I used to love that motherfucking game.
That does
Because you
sound
could just
boss.
walk around and shoot deer.
Who stole it?
My cousin. That fuck.
That's cold-blooded.
What was that taste?
This is like blue cookies?
I might have, it was good. I might have deserved the whole stealing of the shotgun thing. Because like a year and a half earlier, I threw some poison ivy on a fire.
Oh, wow.
To burn it.
Gosh.
And he's allergic to it, but I'm not. And I might have known this at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So that got into his lungs, and he almost died.
Oh, my gosh.
That was a preemptive strike. That's what we call that.
Yeah, that was...
I knew in a year he would take my goddamn game.
Inadvertent warfare, yeah.
That's biological warfare. Chemical warfare.
That's a Death Clock song.
Yeah. Did you hear that new band by that new song by 943 Megabytes?
Negative. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, that's because they ain't had a gig yet.
Oh, for those of you who don't know, 1,024 megabytes is a gig.
Is it?
Yeah,
24?
1024.
I thought there was just 1,000. I didn't know there was that 24 at the end.
It's 1024.
Why is it 1024?
Because of the way bytes work in 6 to 8-bit increments, I think.
Oh, okay.
Has something to do with that. Because a lot of people mistake megabytes and megabits because bits are made of bytes. Bytes are smaller than bits. So it goes...
Bytes are smaller than bits.
I'm pretty sure 1,000 megabytes is a megabit, and then 1,000 megabits. 1024 is a gig. Weird, man, but like it all scales up in that. Remember when a gig wasn't even the popular terms? It was like it always went by 128 because 128, 256, 512, and then after 512 it's like I got a whole gig, bro. It's like $85 at Best Buy in 2001. You're like, Jesus, I've never seen this much storage in my life.
No shit for the extra hard drives.
Yeah, now it's like 8 gig flash drive, $4.33.
No shit.
Hey, what the hell, Micro Center?
Like how? How did they get more space?
I was just watching something about that. It's called, I think it's called Moore's Law. We might have talked about it before. Moore's Law is the idea that circuit technology and microprocessors they grow in speed and shrink in size.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just watched something pretty cool on that was talking about where we're basically headed with this like crazy society we're creating and this AI brain that we're integrating into everything.
I was seeing this one thing that they got this computer chip. It's supposed to be smaller than like a red blood cell.
Okay.
And they're gonna put it in your body and it's supposed to eat away like bacteria and bullshit.
Damn.
Just nom 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 nom.
Oh, here's something crazy. Speaking of putting stuff in people's body, I just heard on NPR. There's a lady, I think from Mississippi, or one of the southern states.
Yeah.
She is an African American lady who has sickle cell anemia. And are you familiar? Are you familiar with the genetic technology CRISPR?
Yeah.
So that's the newest stage technology of genetic actual editing and modification.
Yeah, Japanese people made it so they could change their babies. You know, they say that
designer babies.
They say that maybe the first baby that ever did that was Yao Ming.
Interesting.
But anyways, back to CRISPR. On the black baby. I mean the black guy, the black girl.
Black lady, yeah. No, she's the first volunteer for a scientific experiment of this gravity in a long time because she's actually volunteering to take this CRISPR treatment, which what they're going to do is they're going to take the cells, I don't know which blood cells, out of her body, but then modify them and put them back in to try to combat this disease, which is insane. Like if it works, like medicine has a history. Science and medicine both have a dark history of misunderstanding before we figure out what's going on.
Right.
So like
we fight the wrong battle.
Yeah, this is.
And we hit a stalemate, but then there's an explosion.
Exactly, yeah.
And figure something out.
And sometimes you find new discoveries when you pick up the rubble of the destruction of the experiment kind of sort of thing. It's like you always try to use new technology in the best interest, but you don't know what the possible outcome could be. But in this case, it very much will either work or it won't. And if it doesn't, my guess is her body will violently reject it and she will die.
She'll have some issues. But good. I'm glad she's taking Hey, more power to you, lady.
Yeah, that's like a huge step in human courage and bravery, because without those kinds of people who are willing to do those things, we would find ourselves in a scenario of like prisoner of war type things, where like scientific experiments used to be conducted on people against their will,
like the Jews and Nazi.
And so many people.
I work with a lady who didn't know what the Holocaust was.
How old is she?
She is 38 years old.
Dear Lord. Some people just never ask, man. They never listen and they never ask.
It's just weird.
It's very odd.
I made maybe a crude remark, maybe a joke.
Yeah.
An off-color joke.
Okay.
And then it wasn't about the Holocaust or Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
It was just about something. And then like mass extinction came up. And then that's when I said, well, kind of like the Holocaust. And then she just looked at me like, what is that?
Oh,
like,
wow.
You kidding me?
Again, do we really got to go here, or are you joking?
Yeah, like, I'm not going to explain it to you, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get things wrong. Wow. And that was too significant an event to just fuck up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, good for her. I mean, she's living a good life.
I mean, yeah, that shelter, yeah, you don't got to put yourself through that. I never saw Schindler's List, I guess.
Me either.
Yeah, I always heard it was, like, weird things.
It's a long list about, I think, Jews in a town. And they're going and collecting them all up.
I remember people talking about like burning bodies or something like.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Before cinema was like really gory and Saw style.
You right? What's Jacob's Ladder about?
I don't know.
I think it's about a little kid dying. He's got to make his way to heaven. I don't know, man. That'd be a badass movie though.
Stairway to Heaven would not be a hit if it was called Ladder to Heaven.
It would not be, would it?
No.
It would not be like
Step ladder.
Led's Ladder.
Yeah.
It's the Stairway to Heaven. Anyways,
Escalator.
Fucking Led Zeppelin stole that.
From what?
From that one band. Tyrus. Tondrus.
Tutti Frutti Booty.
Yeah, it was named some crazy name, and they actually went on tour together, and they played it before them. Like the Taurus opened up for him.
I think Zeppelin
stole
popular music's littered with plagiarism claims.
It went all the way to the Supreme Court, but I don't think they got tried for it. I think they were like, well, it's close.
Yeah, and the difference is, the honest difference is, here's your song, here's their song. How do people react to their song? How do people react to your song? And
there wasn't enough difference.
It sucks bad when somebody takes what you made and rips it and makes it better.
Yeah.
That's but that's the ultimate human creative struggle, is it's like you have to keep persevering in the face of creativity and adversity.
Right.
Because if you are bold enough to think of something no one has before, or go somewhere no one has before, as soon as you do, someone else will be brave enough to go there. The same way that we've talked about how suddenly when one world record gets broken, suddenly it sets along this phase where other people now know it's humanly possible to do.
Bam.
Yeah.
It just gets broken for like 10 times in a fucking span of 6 months, but then it's never broken again.
Yeah, it didn't break for 40 years or whatever. So I think that applies to a lot of aspects of life in different ways.
You were talking about you should be allowed to use like inspiration, like in songs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the best line I ever heard was in a rap song by J. Cole. He was just yelling about how he should be allowed to sample other people's beats. He's like, motherfuckers, you were inspired by the world, so let me be inspired by your shit.
And that's it's very disheartening when, especially, there's a difference between plagiarism and an homage.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And like, to me, that's the perfect word for it, because there's no better way to like be like, I love this about this, than to kind of do it, which is always funny to me why rock music is acceptably covered by other bands, but you never see anybody cover rap music, which is very odd, because but when people do that, they're considered to be imitators or fakers. Right. They're not. It's somebody trying to be like someone else, not somebody paying respect to a band.
Yeah, but country music, you have to respect.
Exactly.
Like, you have to be one of the best artists right now, and the only way you can cover an old song has to be one of the best artists of that time and one of their best songs for you to be able to cover their stuff. So, in rock, you can just cover anything.
And no matter what the band and genre, and that's funny to me, man, but I'm like...
That's weird.
I mean, it's just odd. People want genuine performances and, like, authenticity.
Right.
But... it's also a form of credibility. It's like, oh, if you can play this cover at least this good,
right?
I'm raising the bar on what I think you're capable of.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, and that could be directly not reflective of the actual band's talent, because there's so many songs that are popular that aren't musically complicated, and that's
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I'm sitting here talking like I'm a musical aficionado and I can barely play guitar or piano or anything, but I just know that like vocalists, musicians, artists, all of them immerse themselves in their arts. And I think I just heard somebody. I think my dad may be outside shooting birds.
That might happen.
I totally lost my train of thought. But
Don't hate on anybody's shit because they're entwined in it. They respect what they're doing and they releasing it.
Right.
People? If you don't like it, just don't listen to it.
or create something fucking new and do it yourself. Because chances are you can't.
Exactly. Or you can't.
Yeah. And that like don't hate, appreciate, bro. You know.
Yeah. One love, y'all.
You already know. Yeah. You got anything else for this week, man?
No, man. I just want everybody to love everybody. ELE.
ELE.
I want to catch these groundhogs. I feel like Bill Murray in Caddyshack.
Yeah, you know, if you're one of our international listeners, what are the laws on your you know, critters?
Are you? But dude, I found out in Florida that you can just shoot your gun in residential. Like if you own property, where like since my company owns property, I could just shoot the gun. You're allowed to do it in the middle of like. You have to have a yard.
Yeah, of course.
But
yeah.
if you lived in the middle of town and had neighbors,
Pop one off.
Yeah, you could just be in your yard like do 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 do. And if someone gets hit and they're on the other side of the fence, it's like, well, you shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm firing my gun in my yard.
Yeah, with what's the phrase you yell like in golf before you usually get hit? I know, but like for guns, like Glock.
Oh,
you know, like
yeah, that'd be
safety.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's I don't know, we should have this uploaded today's Tuesday maybe. Hopefully it'll be Wednesday or Thursday when we get it to you guys.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have any other plans or anything coming up.
Just getting to you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for the love. Thanks
Let
for
us
the
know.
downloads.
Yeah, let us know if you like the some of the camera edits and stuff. I know we have a lot more audio listeners than we do visual watchers, I guess I would say. But if you do get a chance, yeah, check us out on YouTube and see if you guys like the setup we got. Give us some ideas for some stuff you want to see, and also give us some stuff to talk about, because we just talk about some dumb shit sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
If you guys don't give us anything to talk about, we're guaranteed to talk about some dumb shit.
That's right. But you're guaranteed to learn some stuff, like
exactly.
my skunk.
Well, and we totally have our degree in bullshittery.
I would call it that. I would call it exactly that.
Yeah, it's not a master's yet, but we're hoping by, here and here.
But we're
pretty close, yeah.
We're working on it.
At the School of Thejoker and the Smoker, and this has been your lesson for today.
My name's Brandon. He's Isaac.
And yep.
And this was episode 28. We'll see you next time, y'all. It's been a lovely day, and I love you all. Yeah. Man.